Okay, so what I'm going to show you in this video is just the first steps of subtracting, where a two-digit number from a two-digit number without crossing a tens boundary. Okay, so there are two skills which we need to do in this activity. First of all, we need to be able to take away ones from a two-digit number. So if I gave you an example of something like 57, take away 3, we'd expect the children to be able to do this as a calculation, possibly in their heads. And we'll just show you how it kind of like looks. So if we had a number line and we started at 57, what they could do is they could begin by counting back 3. So they would do 3 jumps backwards in their heads, and they could count back and go 56, 55, 54. So we know that 57 take away 3 is equal to 54. Okay. Obviously, counting back in ones is not the best way of doing this kind of calculation. What we really want to do is actually use our number facts. Okay. So for this, actually, we can ignore the fact that it's 57 because we're doing taking away ones which aren't bigger than the ones which we've got in our two-digit number. So what we'd actually encourage children to do in school is to actually think, okay, if I'm doing 57 take away 3, I need to think about what is 7 take away 3 and use their number bond facts, thinking, okay, 3 needs 4 to make 7, so 7 take away 3 must be 4. So my answer, if I had 57 take away 3, must be 54. So effectively, they would do it in one jump, just like that. Okay, so we can now just have a quick look at that again. So like how we'd want it to be done. We'll give another example. This time we will do 68 take away 5. Okay, so I'm just going to write 68 on the number line over here. And this time I'm going to try and take it away in one jump. So because 5 is not bigger than 8, I can think, okay, what's 8 take away 5? Or what does 5 need to make 8? And 5 needs 3 to make 8. So I know 8 take away 5 is 3. So 68 take away 5 must be 63. So I'll just do that in one jump and go back to 63. Okay. Our next step then, which we would then try and do, is we've taught the children how to take away tens from a number. Okay. And I show this in two methods on the number line as a little picture. So I'm going to start with 68 again. But this time, I'm going to take away 20. Okay. Now, we've done some work with children explaining how we can do this kind of step. So, for instance, if we ignore the 8 and just think, what if I just had 60 take away 20? We've taught children, if you know what 6 take away 2 is, you can work out what 6 take away 20 is. Okay, but we'll do it in this sort of thing where we've got 68 take away 20. So I'm going to put 68 over here. Okay, and we're going to take away the tens. Okay, because another thing which we've taught the children how to do, and what children need a little bit of practice on as well, is to count backwards and forwards in tens from any number which is on the year 2 curriculum. And what we've seen is that when we take away a 10 or add a 10 to a number, the ones of that number never ever change. So if we had 68 and we took away 10, we would have 58. So the tens have gone down by 1. And if we took away 10 again, we would have 48. So again, the tens have gone down in 1. Okay, so this equals 48. Okay. Other ways to help children visualize it, we can see from our place value, we know how to draw 68 or make 68 using base 10. And if we drew 68, we would have 6 tens, which we draw as lines, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 ones, which we draw as circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what we would then do is, okay, take away 20. So 20 is made out of two tens. So I could cross out those two tens and I can see I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 48 again. Okay. We could also think about it as one jump, because as children practice this more and more, what we'd hope they'd be able to realize is, okay, so I've got 68 take away 48, and we're taking away 10, so I know the ones aren't going to change. And they could say, okay, I know 6 take away 2 is equal to 4. So 60 take away 20 is equal to 40, and 68 take away 48. So 68 take away 20 would be equal to 48. So you can do it in one jump as well. But sometimes this takes a little bit of practice and reinforcing with pictures and things like that. But a lot of the children I found this year have been able to, are beginning to see that method. Okay, so those are two steps which we use to do a subtraction, and then we need to put those two steps together. So we're going to do a two-digit number, take away a two-digit number. And again, what we're going to have is making sure we don't have to cross over the tens boundary, because that would be another part of a lesson. Okay, so we are going to do, let's say, 75 take away 32. Okay, so we're going to start at 75, like this. If it helps, the children can draw a picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones, like that. And what we're going to do first is take away the tens. So we've got 3 tens here, so I'm going to try and take away 30. Okay, and we know the ones aren't actually going to change in this, because that's the rule when we take away tens. So I know my number should end in a 5. And we're going to do 7 tens, take away 3 tens. And 7 take away 3 is 4. So 70 take away 30 is 40. So it would be 45. And again, we can reinforce this with the picture. We've drawn our 75. If we crossed out 3 of these tens, oops, I only drew 6 actually there. Sorry, that was my mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 75. So if we crossed out 3 of these tens, we would be left with 45. And of course, if children were a little bit unsure, they could count back in tens and go 75, and they could go 110 to 65, 110 to 55, and 110 to 45. But what we're aiming for is to hope that children can see the pattern that 7 take away 3 is 4, so 70 take away 30 would be 40, and 75 take away 30 would be therefore be 45. Okay, so we've taken away our tens now. Okay, and now all we need to do is take away our ones, and we've got 5 ones, take away 2 ones, and we'd ask them, what's 5 take away 2? And hopefully children would realise that 5 take away 2 is 3, because 2 needs 3 to make 5. So they'd count back 2, like that. And if we know 5 take away 2 is 3, 45 take away 2 must be 43. So we now know our answer is equal to 43. Okay? And we can also demonstrate that with our picture again. If we took away 2 of these ones, we're left with 3 ones. I try not to just allow children to draw the picture and scribble the tens and ones out, because sometimes it isn't the most efficient way of doing it. It helps to reassure children to see them if they're not sure on the number facts, but knowing the number facts is better. And I don't want children to rely solely on just being able to draw pictures and do it, because sometimes it then relies on them and counting ones and things like that, rather than actually realizing that 5 take away 2 is 3, like that. Okay, so that is how we do a two-digit number take a two-digit number, without crossing over a tens boundary. And the next video, which I'll put up, will have a tens bound showing you how we do that with a tens boundary. Okay.